So this is the second to lecture on the PDA 365 Polity, Governance and Social Issues. So first lecture we had on the functioning of Parliament, state legislature and local government. We did have a discussion on the 50 years of national emergency. We understood the various aspects related to national emergency, grounds, and the authority who proclaim the national emergency. Okay, then ascend to the state head, and then office of vice president, a speaker of Lok Sabha, anti-defection law, disqualification of a sitting lawmaker, then parliamentary committees, local bodies. Yeah, so all these things we have done. Now we are going to today start with the important constitution or statutory executive bodies in New Zealand. So let us jump into this. So first thing is the Lokpal. So last year I think 2025 there was a question on Lokpal in the prelims. Okay. So let us see. So why this is in news? Because the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personal Public Grievances Law and Justice suggests urgent steps to operationalize Lokpal's inquiry prosecution beings in its 145th report. Now let us understand the Lokpal genesis and aim. So it is basically central statutory and anti-corruption ombudsman established under the Lokpal and Lokayukt's Act 2013 to investigate and prosecute corruption involving public servants, recommended by First and Second Administrative Reforms Commission. Lokayukta operates at the state level. Structure varies across states and is appointed by the governor, generally in consultation with the state high court, chief justice, or leader of opposition. As per Lokpal and Lokayukt's Act 2013, power of Lokpal applies to all categories of public servants of India, including those serving under the union government, whether posted within India or abroad. Okay, so now first Lokpal, so Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh 2019, current Lokpal Justice A.M. Khan Vilkar. Now let us talk about the tenure and eligibility. So term is 5 years or till they attain 70 years of age, whichever is earlier. No reappointment as chairperson or member after completion of term. A member may become chairperson only if total tenure does not exceed 5 years. Now local compositions. So let us understand. So there should be a chairperson who will be the serving or former CGI, Chief Justice of India, or Supreme Court judge, or an eminent person with at least 25 years of special knowledge and expertise in matters relating to anti-corruption policy, public administration, vigilance, finance, including insurance and banking, law and management. Members, there are 8 members with 50% judicial members, not less than 50% of the members shall be from amongst person belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, minorities, and women. Now, eligibility of judicial member: he is or has been a judge of the Supreme Court, or is or has been a Chief Justice of a High Court. Now, appointment. So, appointment by the President on the recommendations of the Select Committee. Okay. So appointment is done by the President on the recommendation of the Selection Committee. Now we need to understand the composition of the Selection Committee. So I think they would have given yes. Here you see composition of the Selection Committee of Lokpal. So there will be Prime Minister who will be acting as the chairperson of the Lokpal Selection Committee. Then there will be a Speaker of the House of the People, Speaker of the House of the People. Basically, it is the Lok Sabha, the Speaker. Okay. Then there will be Leader of Opposition in the House of People. Again, the Lok Sabha, Leader of Opposition of the Lok Sabha. Then there will be Chief Justice of India or a Judge of the Supreme Court nominated by him. Okay, so either CGI will be there as a member, or if CGI is not there, then CGI will nominate a judge of the Supreme Court as a member of the selection committee of Lokpal, and then there will be one eminent jurist that will be nominated by the president. Okay, so you see from the part of the executive you have prime minister. Okay, one. Then you have one person to be nominated by president. So again the executive two. Okay, then you have from legislature one and two. So and then one is judiciary. So you see that there is a no balance with regard to the different organs of the participation of different organs of the government. Okay, because you have equal representation of the executive and the legislature, but when it comes to judiciary you have only one. Okay, so that is not fair, I think. So of course it is certainly going to be biased in favor of executive or legislature, not legislature but executive certainly, because the speaker of the house certainly comes from the ruling party. Okay, so that is the thing. So you have two person which may be in opposition to the views uh, formed by these three persons, prime minister, a speaker of the house, and one eminent jurist. Okay, so that is how it becomes highly biased towards executive. Okay, selection committee recommendation. Okay, now there are certain disqualifications for the chairperson or the member of the Lokpal. Now what are these? So MP or legislature member, that is basically MLA or MLC, cannot be a member of parliament or legislature of any state or union territory. Okay, MP or legislature member cannot be a member of parliament or legislature of any state. Now, convicted of moral turpitude, age requirement cannot be a person of less than 45 years of age on the date of assuming office. Panchayat or municipality member, okay, removed or dismissed from service, office of trust or profit. So these are the disqualification for chairperson. However, if you are holding any office of profit or office of trust, then you cannot become a member of the Lokpal or its chairman. Similarly, if you are removed or dismissed from service, then also you can't become chairperson or member of the Lokpal, and you are a member of the panchayat or municipality, then also. And if your age is not uh, more than 45 years, then also you can't become a chairperson member. And if you are convicted of moral turpitude, then also you can't become a member or chairperson of the Lokpal. And then if you are MP or legislature member, then also can't become a member. Okay, now let us see the two wings of Lokpal. So first, so the entire workload of the Lokpal is divided basically into two, which is known as the inquiry wing first, and the second is prosecution wing. Now there are certain things that are to be performed by wing. So these are conducts preliminary inquiry into offences by public servants under POCA, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988, submits inquiry report to Lokpal within 60 days. Okay, so report, so when uh, preliminary inquiry is done under the POCA 1988, then they have to submit inquiry report to Lokpal within 60 days, headed by Director of Inquiry under Lokpal Chairperson. Okay, assisted by three SPs, General Economic and Banking, cyber and inquiry officers. Okay, so three SP would be there. One come from the general, second will come from the economic and banking, and third would be related from the cyber. So these three SP will assist the director of inquiry to undertake the preliminary inquiry into the offences by public servants under POCA 1988. Also there will be inquiry officers. Okay, and now it is vested with civil court powers under CPC 1908. Now then the matter will goes to prosecution wing. which is headed by Director of Prosecution. Now it files cases before special courts based on investigation reports, prosecutes public servant for offences punishable under uh, pre- uh, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Now, there are certain powers of the Lokpal as well, which is given under this very act, which gives the existence to the Lokpal, that is the Lokpal and Lokayukt Act 2013. Okay, now what are these powers? So, first is the superintendence over investigations. Okay, so it exercises supervision and direction over central investigation agencies, including the CBI for cases referred by Lokpal. Now, document protection can issue directions to public servants for preservation and protection of records or documents. Civil court powers possesses powers under the Code of Civil Procedure to conduct a preliminary inquiry and investigation into corruption cases. Appellate authority acts as the final appellate authority in public grievance cases involving findings of corruption under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Now, jurisdiction of Lokpal to inquire into allegation of corruption. So, prime minister or minister in the union government or member of parliament and officials of union government under group A, B, C, D, whether posted in India or abroad. So, prime minister is also in within the jurisdiction of the Lokpal. Okay, to inquire into allegation. It means that if there is a corruption allegation uh, with regard to either prime minister or minister in the union government, whether it is a defense minister, home minister, or any finance minister, or any union minister or member of parliament, which means MP, and officials in of the union government, like IAS, IPS, or any from B service, or C or D, whether posted in India or abroad, they will be under the jurisdiction of the Lokpal. Now, chairpersons, members, and officers and directors of any board, corporation, society, trust, or autonomous body, either established by Act of Parliament or wholly partly funded by union or state government. Okay, so chairpersons, you have members, you have officers, you have directors of any board, corporation, society, trust, autonomous body, either established by Act of Parliament or wholly or partly funded by union government or a state government. Now, any society or trust body that receives foreign contribution above 10 lakh. So, any society or trust or body that receives foreign contribution above 10 lakh. So, basically, NGO also comes under the jurisdiction. All those NGOs who receives foreign fund above 10 lakh, they fall under the jurisdiction of the Lokpal to inquire into the allegation of corruption. Now, another important investigation agency which is in news is the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. Why this is in news? Because recently a high level committee to recommend the name of new CBI director failed to reach consensus. Now let us understand about the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. So it was established in 1963 on the recommendation of Santhanam Committee 1962-64. Administrative control, Ministry of Personal Pension and Public Grievances, legal status, non-constitutional, non-statutory functions under Delhi Special Police Establishment, DSPE Act 1946. India's premier investigating agency coordinates investigation on behalf of Interpol member countries. Motto: industry, impartiality, and integrity. A vision: combat corruption, curb economic and violent crimes, and tackle cyber and high technology offenses. Organization headed by a director, assisted by special or additional directors and other police ranks. Appointment: director selected by a committee comprising the Prime Minister, leader of opposition, Chief Justice of India, or a Supreme Court judge nominated by them. So it is basically director is the director of the CBI is basically appointed by a selection committee which will comprise of Prime Minister, leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, and Chief Justice of India or Supreme Court judge nominated by them. Now, tenure extension 2020 ordinance allow extension of CBI or ET directors tenure up to 5 years, earlier fixed at 2 years. Now, types of cases. So, anti-corruption, they can take case with regard to anti-corruption matters, economic offences, special crimes, and suo motu cases. Operations conducted by CBI: Operation Hawk 2025, Operation Megha Chakra 2022, Operation Carbon 2021, related to global cybercrime network involving online sexual exploitation of children. Now, consent of state for CBI, general and specific. So CBI is not required to seek fresh permission every time it enters that state in connection with investigation for every cases. Section C6 of DSPE Act empowers the state government to give or deny consent to CBI officer. Specific: CBI would have to apply this to the state government in every case. Now, Union Public Service Commission UPSC. Recently, UPSC completed a century of its establishment on 1st October 2025. Now, let us understand about the UPSC. So, headquarters is in New Delhi. Genesis Central Recruiting Agency of India, constitutional body under Article 315 and to 323, Part 14. Composition: chairman and members appointed by President of India. Standard President discretion. At least 50% members must have 10 years of government service. Tenure: 6 years or until they attain the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Grounds include insolvency removal. Removal grounds include insolvency, external paid employment, physical or mental unfitness, and misbehavior. In case of misbehavior, person refers matter to Supreme Court, whose advice is binding. Okay, so if there is a case related to misbehavior, then person refer matter to Supreme Court, who will decide whether he should be removed or not. That will be final. Misbehavior includes holding interest in a government contract. Now, independence safeguards. Service condition cannot be altered to their disadvantage. Sadly, charge on Consolidated Fund of India. Chairman barred from further government employment. Members eligible only as UPSC chairperson or state PSC chairperson. Now, functions: conducts examinations for all India services, center services, and UT services. Assist states in joint recruitment or request. Reporting: submits annual report to the person. Article 322, uh, 323, laid before Parliament with reasons for non-acceptance of advice, if any. Okay, so now next agency that is in news is the NCRB, National, which is a National Crime Records Bureau. Why it is in news? Because recently National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) has released accidental deaths and suicide in India report. So the headquarters is in New Delhi. Now, origin 1986, based on the recommendation of Tandon Committee, National Police Commission 1977 to 1981, and the Ministry of Home Affairs Task Force 1985. Ministry of Home Affairs. Key functions: data repository, acts as repository of information on crime and criminals to assist investigators. That is National Database of Sexual Offenders. National Warehouse for fingerprint records of Indian and foreign criminals. National Automated Fingerprint Identification System was integrated into the NCRB, providing a searchable database. Coordination: it is Central Nodal Agency for Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and System. Publication: it publishes annual national crime statistics, including crime in India, accidental deaths and suicide in India, and prison statistics. Now, accidental deaths and suicides in India 2023 report. A rate of suicide: Andaman Nicobar Island highest, Sikkim comes, then comes Kerala. So a rate of suicide, so the highest rate of suicide has been recorded in Andaman and Nicobar Island, then followed by Sikkim, followed by Kerala. Cities have higher suicide rate as compared to all India suicide rate. Okay, so that is the thing. Now, states with higher percentage of share of suicide. So, if you go state wise, then higher percentage is in Maharashtra, highest, then followed by Tamil Nadu, followed by Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, and West Bengal. Now, farmer suicide. Zero suicides of farmer cultivators or agricultural laborers found in West Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, etc. Now, governance of prisons in India. So, governance of prisons in India. Uh, Prisons and prisoners fall under state list 84 of 7th schedule. 84 of 7th schedule. Now, Union role. Ministry of Home Affairs provides guidance and support to states and UTs. Reform Initiative. Model Prisons and Correctional Services Act 2023, issued by Ministry of Home Affairs as a guiding framework to replace colonial era laws, integrates provisions of Prisoners Act 1900 and Transfer of Prisoners Act 1950. Now, judicial pronouncements related to prisons. So you have Suhas Chakma versus Union of India and others 2024. Supreme Court observed that establishing open sorry, just a minute. Establishing open prisons is one of the solutions for overcrowding and promote rehabilitation. Now, Husainara Khatun versus State of Bihar 1979. Supreme Court held that right to a speedy trial is a fundamental right under Article 21, resulting in the release of thousands of under trial prisoners. Now, there is a National Human Rights Commission (NHRC) which is also in news. Why? Because recently National Human Rights Commission has challenged the recommendation of subcommittee on accreditation of Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions, which proposed downgrading its status from A to B. Now, accreditation of NHRC of India. So uh, NHRCI got a status of accreditation first time in 1999. In 2016, NHRCI's accreditation was deferred by a year, after which it received an A rating in 2017 by SCA of Gandhari. In 2023, accreditation of NHRCI was deferred. Currently, accreditation of Ganhari is deferred due to lack of diversity in staff and leadership and insufficient action to protect marginalized groups. Now, Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institution, Ganhari, so it is situated in Geneva, Switzerland. Established in 1993 as an international coordinating committee of national institutions for promoting and protection of human rights. Since 2016, it has been known as Ganhari. 120 member, including India, as of December 2023. Subcommittee on Accreditation, Ganhari through SCA is responsible for reviewing and accrediting NHRIs in compliance with Paris principles. Uh, SCA comprises one A status institution from each of the four Ganhari regional groupings: Africa, Americas, Asian Pacific, Europe. Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights is a permanent observer on SCA, serve as the secretary to Ganhari and its SCRA. Now about NHRC, so headquarters is in New Delhi. Genesis statutory body established under Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 as amended in 2006 and in 2019. PHRA defines human rights as rights relating to life, liberty, equality, and dignity of the individual. These rights are granted by Constitution or embodied in international covenants and are enforceable by courts in India. Now, composition of NHRC. So, chairperson, retired Chief Justice of India or a judge of the Supreme Court. Now there will be five full-time members. First is the retired or serving judge of the Supreme Court, retired or serving Chief Justice of High Court. Three other members to be appointed from persons having knowledge and practical experience in matters of human rights. One of them shall be a woman. Now there will be seven deemed members, chairpersons of National Commission for Minorities, Backward Classes, persons with disabilities, SC, STs, protection of child rights and women. Now, appointment chairperson and members of commission are appointed by. So, chairperson and members of commission are appointed by President of India. on the recommendations of a committee headed by Prime Minister, consisting of a Speaker of Lok Sabha, a Speaker of Lok Sabha, Minister in charge of Ministry of Home Affairs, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Tenure chairperson and members of NHRC will hold office for 3 years or till the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. Chairperson and members both are eligible for reappointment. Removal: both chairperson and members can be removed from office by person order on ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity after consultation with the Supreme Court. Power of NHRC: it has all the powers of civil court and in particular in respect of the following matters, namely summoning and enforcing attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, discovery and production of any document, receiving evidence on affidavits requisitioning any public record or copy thereof from any court of office, issuing commissions for the examination of witness or documents. Now, functions of NHRC. So, inquiry into human rights violation on its own or on a petition by a victim, intervene in proceeding involving human right violation pending before a court with approval of such court, visit any jail or institution under control of a state government to study living condition of inmates, review law and procedure for protection of human rights, review factors including acts of terrorism that inhibit human rights. Now, World Accreditation Day, June 9, a global initiative by International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation and International Accreditation Forum is celebrated to promote value of accreditation. Now, let me check how many topics are left. Okay, so two pages are more to be covered. Three pages, not two pages. Yes, three pages. National Standards for Civil Service Training Institute. Recently, National Standard for Civil Services Training Institute 2.0 framework was launched by Ministry of State for Personal Public Grievances and Pensions. About National Standards for Civil Service Training Institute, developed by Capacity Building Commission (CBC), which is an executive body of Mission Karma Yogi, refer infographics under Mission Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions. Objective: establish baseline capacities in central training institutes, standardize civil service training, and provide a structured framework to improve institute management. Now, hybrid and AI-driven learning models inclusive design for training institute at all levels of government, adoption of best practices through collaboration between public and private sectors, capacity building commission CBC established 2021, purpose to build credibility and shape a uniform approach to capacity building on collaborative and co-sharing basis. Composition: it is a three member commission supported by an internal secretariat headed by a secretary. Members have been appointed from diverse backgrounds such as private sector, academia, public sector, and civil society. CBC is an independent body with full executive power. Key functions: preparing an annual state of civil services report, exercising functions supervision over training institutions, and creating shared learning resources. So these are the things. Now I got Karma Yogi. I got the Karma Yogi crossed 1 crore registered users, about a comprehensive online learning platform for civil servants across India. So now next, other important what is in news. So you have Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So CAG has set up a separate unit for auditing public sector undertakings PSU run by various state governments. About CAG, CAG is basically a constitution body appointed under Article 148 of the Constitution by the Parliament of India. CAG is not eligible reappointment in central or state government. The extent of his duties is listed out in CAG's Duties, Powers and Conditions of Services Act 1971. Tenure 6 year or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Removal: removed by person on the same ground and in same manner as the judge of the Supreme Court. Other key detail: duty of the CAG arises only after expenditure has been incurred. CAG reports on the execution of projects programs by the ministers are discussed by Public Account Committee. Information from CAG reports can be used by investigating agencies to press charges in court of law. Now, Attorney General of India recently, Senior Advocate R. Venkata Ramani was reappointed as the Attorney General of India for 2 years. About Attorney General of India is a highest law officer in country constitutional body under Article 76, which provides for Office of Attorney General for India. Appointment by President. Eligibility must be a person who is qualified to be appointed a judge of the Supreme Court, that is, must be a citizen of India and have been a judge of the some high court for 5 years, or an advocate or some of some high court for 10 years, or an eminent jurist. Now, term of office not fixed by constitution. Removal: constitution does not contain any procedure and grounds for removal. He hold office during pleasure of person. Rights of AGI: a right of audience in all courts in Indian territory. Right to speak, take part in proceedings of both the houses, their joint sitting, any committee of parliament of which he may be named a member, but without right to vote. Enjoys all privileges and immunities that are available to the member of parliament. Limitations of AGI: not advise or hold a brief against against advise or hold a brief against government of India, not defend accused person in criminal prosecution without permission of government of India, not accept appointment as a director in a company or corporation without permission of government of India. Duties and functions: give advice to government of India upon such legal matters which are referred to him by the president. Appear on behalf of government of India in all cases in Supreme Court and High Court in which government of India is concerned. Represent government of India in any reference made by President to the Supreme Court under Article 143. Note: Solicitor General of India is not allowed to participate in the meeting of Parliament. Not allowed to participate in the meetings of Parliament. Article 76 does not mention about the Solicitor General, and it is the Solicitor General. Now, National Commission for Scheduled Caste. National Commission for Scheduled Caste submitted its annual report for 2023-24 to the President of India. About National Commission for Scheduled Caste. Constitutional body under Article 338 of the Constitution. Composition: chairperson, a vice chairperson, three other members appointed by the President. Power: it has the power of a civil court in certain matters. Tenure: hold office for a term of 3 years and shall not be eligible for appointment for more than 2 terms. Key functions: investigate and monitor all matters relating to the safeguards provided for the Supreme Court, inquire into specific complaints with respect to the deprivation of rights, safeguards of the scheduled caste, etc. Now, National Medical Commission. National Medical Commission recently completed 5 years. About National Medical Commission establishment: a statutory body constituted under National Medical Commission Act 2019 came into force in 2020. Replaced Medical Council of India and Board of Governors was dissolved. Commission consists of following person to be appointed by central government, namely a chairperson, 10 ex officio members, 22 part-time members. About autonomous boards under, you can see functions of National Medical Commission. So all these things. So I think these much things, this much we have completed. I think how many pages? Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. So 10 pages, 34 minutes. Okay, 10 pages, 34 minutes. So chapter number 2 has also ended. Now chapter number 3 is left, which we will be doing. I think right now we can do it. Yes, I think now let us stop here. Okay, we'll bring another video lecture to discuss the third chapter. Okay, so second chapter we have completed. One has also been completed. So issues related to the constitution is what we are going to start. in the next session. So thank you.